All right, let's talk about something every single person living in Shibuya has to get the hang of. Garbage. I know, it can seem a little intense at first, but trust me, we're going to break it all down so you can sort everything like you've been doing it for years. Let's jump in. So if you've just moved here, you've probably had that moment, standing in your kitchen, holding an empty plastic container, and just having no idea where it's supposed to go. Hey, you are definitely not alone. This super organized system is exactly why Shibuya is so clean. But yeah, it can feel complicated. Don't worry, by the end of this, you're going to be a total sorting expert.
Okay, so at its heart, the whole system really just comes down to three main categories for all your day-to-day trash. Seriously, if you can get these three down, you've pretty much won 90% of the battle.
First up is the one you'll use the most, burnable trash or combustibles. This is your most frequent pickup, happening twice a week. Think of things like food scraps from the kitchen, random scrap paper, and, this is a big one, any plastic that's just too dirty or greasy to be washed clean.
Next, we have non-burnable trash. And you're going to want to pay close attention here because it's only picked up once a month. Yeah, just once. This is for stuff like broken glasses, ceramics, and small metal items. The key rule to remember is that nothing can be bigger than 30 centimeters on any side.
And rounding out our main trio are the recyclable resources. These get picked up once a week. This is a pretty big category, covering everything from newspapers and cans to all those plastic bottles and food trays, just as long as they're clean.
So let's do a super quick recap. Burnable is twice a week, recyclable is once a week, and that non-burnable is just once a month. Set a reminder for that one. And notice the one rule that applies to almost everything. If it goes in a bag, that bag has to be clear or at least see-through so the collection crew can see what's inside. Okay, now that we've got the basics down, let's zoom in a bit on recycling. This is where most of the questions pop up, and honestly, getting these little details right really does go a long way.
Let's just take the most common thing you'll recycle, a plastic drink bottle. It's a really simple three-step process. First, you take off the cap and peel off that plastic label. Believe it or not, those get recycled separately. Then, just give the inside a quick rinse with some water. And finally, step on it or crush it flat. Easy, right? Now, this slide shows what is probably the single most important rule in the whole system. If you can rinse a plastic item and get it clean pretty easily, it's a recyclable. Simple. But if it's got stains or if it held something oily that you just can't wash out, it has to go into the burnable trash.
For pretty much all the other recyclables, the rules are just as straightforward and logical. You bundle up your newspapers and cardboard with string, no bag needed. You rinse out all your glass bottles and cans. And for anything that was under pressure, like a hairspray can, you have to make sure it is totally, completely empty. That's a big safety thing.
So, what about the big stuff? I mean, the things that obviously are not going to fit into a regular trash bag. Let's talk about how to handle those.
Hey, remember that 30-centimeter rule we talked about for non-burnable trash? Well, here it is again. This is the magic number. If any single side of an item, a chair, a shelf, whatever, is longer than 30 centimeters, it officially gets classified as large-size trash. Getting rid of large trash is a paid service, and you have to book it in advance. It's actually pretty easy. You just call or go online to schedule a pickup day. Then you pop into a local convenience store and buy a special sticker. All you do is write your name on it, stick it onto the item, and put it out on the day they told you. Done.
Now wait, here is a really, really important exception. Your big home electronics. We're talking TVs, fridges, washing machines, and computers. These are not collected as large-size trash. They have their own special appliance recycling law. For these, you'll need to get in touch with the store where you bought it or the manufacturer to arrange for proper disposal. So, once you've mastered all these rules, you're pretty much set. But if you want to go from being a rookie to a real recycling champion, there are actually a few other ways you can get involved in Shibuya's whole culture of reuse. You should keep an eye out for something called group collections in your neighborhood. They're often run by local community groups or PTAs. It's a fantastic way to recycle a whole bunch of paper and bottles at once, and you're helping out a local cause. And you know, before you throw anything away, it's always worth asking, could somebody else actually use this? There are amazing places like the Hanmachi Recycle Center that will fix up and resell old furniture. And local swap meets are a great way to trade stuff you don't need anymore directly with your neighbors. Whew, okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's pull all of that information together into one simple cheat sheet that you can just picture in your head every time you're about to throw something out. Let's just run through this one last time. Kitchen scraps and dirty plastic? That's burnable. Small metal and glass? Non-burnable. Clean plastics and paper are recyclables. Anything bigger than 30 centimeters is large-sized trash that you need to book and pay for. And those big appliances, like your TV or fridge, that's special recycling where you contact the retailer. See? It's that simple when you break it down. And finally, after you've sorted everything perfectly, none of it matters if you miss the truck. The official rule is to have all your trash at your building's collection spot by 8 in the morning on the correct day. So be sure to check the signs in your area for your exact schedule. And that's really all there is to it. From the 3 basic bins all the way up to those special appliances, you now have all the info you need. So the only question left is, are you ready to start sorting with confidence and be a part of what makes this city so great?